and what that entails. Respect is a word that resonates from the highest halls of power, to which the Wharton School has provided me entree today, all the way back to the Crenshaw district in Los Angeles where I grew up. In the broadest sense, I have concluded that much of what all of us seek for ourselves and others is simple respect. I have found defining respect to be more complicated than I had imagined. Certainly it is about how we treat each other, but even more nuanced, it is about how we believe we should be treated. We hear a lot today, for example, about microaggressions, the smallest measures of disrespect that many do not notice, and that others indicate that it is absurd for us to notice. This smallest level, and the nuance of how each individual wants to be treated and believes he or she should be treated, is where we need to focus. Thanks to my role as a consultant, a lawyer, and the director of the Wharton Sports Business Initiative, and my work as the David W. Hawk Professor of Legal Studies and Business Ethics and Africana Studies, I have had the opportunity to examine these issues, live these issues really, up close and in person. And these experiences have given me both a fuller understanding of just how immense these problems are, and how great an impact the world of sports can make when the right decisions are made by those in positions of power. I've consulted with the National Football League, NFL, Major League Baseball, the NCAA, other top sports organizations, owners, executives, and athletes for years on issues often related to diversity and inclusion, and, without always labeling it as such, equality and respect. For example, I've been working with Stephen Ross, owner of the Miami Dolphins, as a consultant to establish an initiative focused on issues of equality, respect, diversity, and inclusion. He has experienced a combination of these issues with his franchise that I will cover later in this audiobook. As Ross said to me in our initial conversation about some of these very issues, "It's about race," he said, "but it's not all about race." That point is an important one, and one I take to heart in this audiobook. This work examines issues that go far beyond black and white. The focus of this audio program is on the unique leadership challenge to embrace and deliver these principles in a real and tangible way within the sports industry specifically. The audiobook is intended to be a snapshot of where we stand in our societal journey by focusing on the key sports power issues of the day. It also seeks to provide business and other leadership lessons on the outline of a framework that can be applied beyond the world of sports. In this work, I use examples from the United States. The global issues of bananas on soccer pitches, the broader issues of the global participation in sport by women, and the gender questions raised regarding athletes such as Caster Semenya in South Africa would lead us to yet another layer of complexity in this discussion. If the focus of this work were on the composition of players, the global issues would be extraordinarily important, especially regarding the decline in the number of African Americans playing Major League Baseball. It is relevant, however, that as the global economy has evolved, the likes of Russian Mikhail Prokhorov can purchase a National Basketball Association (NBA) franchise, while African Americans and Latinos generally remain on the ownership sidelines. In the introduction, I described the Sports Power Matrix, a basic framework for understanding power within the sports industry. In the chapters that follow, I explore the sports controversies that have captured headlines as a prism for exploring diversity, inclusion, respect, and equality in sports. Of course, innumerable other possible topics could have been used as a prism, and I am not proclaiming those addressed in this audiobook to be the only issues that are relevant. In fact, as I have found, the relevant topics of any given day will most often evolve over time. We can only hope that progress is achieved. But I caution that if that is to happen, there is much work to be done. The nature of the format of this work allows for a highlighting of the issues and a framework for focus, if not the depth of analysis that must take place going forward. We are not post-racial. Some listeners may believe that I should set a foundation regarding the broader climate on diversity before examining the issues specific to sport. On the topic of race, for example, some people express an optimism, particularly following the election of Barack Obama in 2008, that we are somehow in a post-racial society. Such a discussion, defining the status of race relations and diversity today, would constitute a separate work in itself. I do want to state clearly that we are not in a post-racial society, and that problems of race still lead as a societal concern. In this work, I am building off the landscape I define.